Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today I have a guest on my channel. I'm very happy about this guest because she is a professional trader. And you probably know that most of the analysts out there who is making videos on YouTube, they are basically like sitting on their couches and saying, oh, crypto will go there or crypto will go there. They don't have the real experience in this field, but Ekaterina Kostevich, she has also a YouTube channel, but she's a professional trader. She trades Bitcoin, maybe a little bit altcoins, and basically this is the thing which she does for her living. So welcome, Ekaterina. I'm very happy to have you here. It's great.
Thank you so much for having me in your interview. And
My pleasure.
I don't like when someone telling this is Katerina, he's professional trader, or in other stuff. My name is Katerina and I'm a professional trader. How can we be professional? Because we are still learning. To be a trader means to learn everywhere, every time, and for the long past, you're learning every day some new
Sure.
stuff, some new strategies. So we're learning traders.
Sure, that's the point. But what I wanted to say that you're actually doing it for making money. So you're not just translating your idea, you're just earning every day with your trades. So this is super cool. So today we'll talk about trading, some trading tips and strategies, and Kate will talk about the views on the market from her side. So let's jump right into it, and I would like to know your view on the current situation. So we're now in the correction for like 1 month or more. And what do you think? Will we go up or down or sideways or backwards? What do you think?
Right now we are having sideways trend. So, our global trend, our main trend is still the uptrend. And you can every time say that the uptrend, so our main trend is much more higher and much more stronger than the counter trend. So of course we have an uptrend right now. We raised from 3,000 to 13,000, I suppose, right? And now we're staying in a sideways. And this is, let's take consideration that it's a little bit pause, that it's a little pause on the market, and it's normal because market cannot go just up and down every time. Of course, there is a volatility on the cryptocurrency market, but we have to have this little pause, no? And now we have a sideways. In my way, in my strategy, I'm a swing trader, so I don't trade it intraday, or I don't do it like for long-term trading. I'm a swing trader, and you have a range from 10,000 to 13,000. So this is a big sideways, because we just think sometimes we're thinking that a sideways only like can be like 500, okay, for a range like 1,000 and 1,500. So it's like our sideways. Right now we have a big consolidation. So this is the way, if you are a swing trader like me, this is the perfect time to have a rest a little bit from the market, because when you will see the break the levels, so two levels, resistance and support level, and you will see the break of one of the level, you will see where the market will go, where the market is continued to go.
Yeah, that's great. By the way, I must say that Ekaterina has the YouTube channel also with crypto analytics and everything. And although it's in Russian, but I've seen one video which is in English. I think you made an interview of one famous person in the crypto, well, not in the trading space. Am I right?
You are completely right, because last week, no, it wasn't last week, it was 2 weeks ago, I had a trip in Chicago, and it was a show. It's like Trader Expo. So this is like a big event where lots of traders gather together in order to share the ideas, to share the strategy, to sell their courses and their books, of course. So, and I had a chance to make four interviews, not only one. And right now on my YouTube channel, I have two interviews. And one of the interview, it's my proud to having her in my YouTube channel. And of course, the part is in Russian, but this other part, the interview exactly is in English. So you can go forward and see this interview with Linda Rashke. So I don't have an idea if I need to introduce her or not, because everyone knows her, especially on
She's a
English.
legend.
Right? She is a legend. She's gorgeous. She's a trader. She has money. I think so. When you see, so she's so strong. It's so calm in her heart. So you have to watch it. And Linda Rashke, for the first time on YouTube, on the, I don't know, on the TV, on the radio, she talking about crypto. So I know that you're running your channel about cryptocurrency, am I right?
Yep, absolutely.
And this is the interview where she talks about crypto, and she talks about why she's not trading crypto. So it's quite interesting, and about cryptocurrency future, cryptocurrency positive and negative stuffs like pros and cons. You can gain lots of stuff and lots of tips in order to put in your strategy. So just go forward and watch it. And I have like several interview. One of the interview with the lady who is on cryptocurrency market, and I have two unpublished interview, really interesting, about forex market, where we discussed with one trader. It was a trader who was in developing and managing euro in 1886, I suppose, but I might be wrong. So you will see, because she will speak about Federal Reserve. Who will be the next chief of Federal Reserve? Her opinion about it, really nice. So just watch it. If you even don't speak Russian, so it's nice to see it.
Yeah, but again, the interview with Linda Rashke is in English, so people who understand watching English videos, they can do that. Also, I think you're talking about that she doesn't talk about crypto, and just to make people understand, I recently made an interview with Alessio Rastani, and people who are in crypto know that he is a big figure in the space in YouTube about crypto, making analysis and everything. So he published recently a very short video about with the interview with her, and now you can understand like what's the size of the person, Ekaterina, who I'm talking with. She also made the same person has had the same person on her channel as Alessia Rastani. So, guys, go ahead and check it out. It's amazing.
No idea about it. So, for me, it's the best chance to see that video that you're talking about.
In fact, that one was very short. So the full video on his channel, I think, is for the paid subscribers. So on video from Ekaterina, you can find like half an hour video for free. So go ahead and check it out. It's very
This is
valuable.
this is completely true, because it's like was a step forward for my career. It was my first interview in English. It was in English. So by the way, it was hard. It was an interview with Linda Rashke. So yeah, for me, it's like a big gain.
And by the way, maybe Ekaterina will start her English channel soon. So check. Maybe it will be the first video of her, and then you can go with other updates and everything. All right. So let's go with trading things and the thing which we like the most. How about the certain strategy which you use in your trading? Maybe some kind of tips which you and only you use in your everyday trading, and what can we use in our strategies? Maybe can adopt from yours.
On my way to become a trader, of course, I tried everything. So I was an intraday trader. I was a swing trader. I was a long-term trader once the cryptocurrency became popular. And right now I'm a swing trader. So I have a strategy. I like to catch like big movements. So I'm working in momentum. That's it. There is a lot of pros of cons of each strategy, and the only reason you have to understand that you have to choose one. So this is the big problem. This is the biggest problem, that you want to be intraday trader. After that, next day, you are a little bit tired of being the intraday trader and you want to become a swing trader, or you just want to invest money because everyone on TV or a Telegram channel, I don't know, or Twitter, saying that to become an investor is much more better and much more profitable in order to be like, instead of being an intraday trader. So this is the biggest problem. You have to choose one and just follow your strategy. Because for example, when you're intraday trader, you're trying to look at daily chart, but you have to work in your daily chart. So in your time frame, whenever time frame you choose, like to be like 15 minutes charts, 5-minute charts, 1 hour chart, you have to follow your chart. So when I speaking about global trend, about main uptrend, it doesn't matter for you because you're working on your own trend. Because when you're intraday trader, you're working trend and counter trend as well. So you have to catch these movements. Even little movements is worth it to catch it. If you're working like swing trader like me, don't look at like lower time frame. Look only at 1 day chart, daily chart. This is the main chart for you. Don't look at 1 hour, 4 hours, even 15 minutes chart. There is only daily chart, and you have to make your decision regarding daily chart, because sometimes we think that we will not catch this movement if we won't see like 1 hour chart. No, look at daily chart and you will start see global movement. If you're investor, if you're like, you know, like entrepreneur investment or a long-term trader, let's say like this, like talk about this, don't look anyone, just look fundamental analysis. Twitter, I don't know, Trump Twitters were really nice even for cryptocurrency, and understand where you're going to in market and where you're going to out of market. So this is the main progress. Regarding the tips, I remember your question. Regarding the tips, I'm working on a swing trader, and tips number one, see higher high and lower lows. So this is the like pivot point, let's say it in English, and you heard about it for sure. So not talking about pivot point, but talking about pivot level. This is really important question. So I'm trader of support and resistance line, and so I'm working on break or pullback of support and resistance line. And let's see the 3 points that, for example, the Bitcoin right now raises from 3,000 to 5,000, and after that it has retracement on 1,000, and from the 1,000 it makes higher high from that 5,000 to 8,000. So the point from which it makes higher high, this is the main profitable points, because in 90% markets go back to that level, pull back and go up to trend. So if we are talking about the uptrends, the same stuff but vice versa about downtrend. If you're saying higher high, for example, or lower low, for example, if you're seeing like from 5,000 it goes to 3,000, and after that it going to 2,000, or no, 5,000 or 4,000, and after that it makes lower lower to 1,000, for example. So see that 4,000. This is the good point in order to enter the market. And the other stuff, it's about psychology. Of course, trading is about emotion. There is no like holy grail like we are trying to searching for. No. Holy grail is your emotion. If you know how to control your emotion, how not to be greedy that much, because of course we will be greedy. It's normal because we are here for the money. You know, we are here for make profit. We have to be
Come
greedy.
on, we are about the technology, no.
No, it's not about technology. If you wanted to become a trader, you have to be here for the money, because this is the only profit you have.
Speculators.
Of course, this is the only motivation you have to have in the trading, just to have some cash in order to take out of the market. That's it. Have to control your emotions.
I just wanted to clarify one thing. You were talking about the support and resistance lines. You're trading this, and I think that people often confuse this definition. And just to make it clear for people who are watching this, what is the difference between support and resistance line and support and resistance level, and what exactly you're talking about when you're talking about this trading in your strategy?
When the forex market and the stock market were the market, like main market, when the cryptocurrency wasn't like so spread wide, okay, we were using support and resistance line, of course. So for example, $1, when we see like the price pull back 3 times, for example, from the resistance or support line, we see these 3-time touches and we draw like support line. Right now in cryptocurrency, of course I was using that lines as well, so it was my main strategy. I understand where the support and resistance can be broken. Right now I'm using like support and resistance, let's call us like zone, okay? So I'm using this zone. I'm not using only one price like 10,000. I'm making 10,000 and 10,100, for example. So this is my zone This is like not only one level, but zone where trader will make their decision. So this is really important. I have support zone and I have resistance zone as above.
That's the perfect, makes perfect sense. But my question was simpler. So let me tell you what I meant. Usually it's just the definition issue. So when you're talking about the level, support and resistance level, it's always a horizontal line. And when you're talking about the support and resistance lines, it is the line which is not a horizontal line. It can have a slope. It must
It's
have a
like
slope.
channel,
Otherwise, it's a
right?
level. Yeah.
I'm
So it's
using I'm using both of them. So I use channel. I use like trend lines, of course, because it's really important when you see the speed on the trend, because you have to understand how speedy trend is it. And I told you I use both of them, and I use like support and resistance zones. So I use that horizontal zone and I use that like lines, like we call it
right,
like
right.
channel, let's call it
Yeah.
like this. Yes.
Um, Another thing, I think I know that you don't want to say anything about the long-term projections or predictions about the price. However, I think you're kind of, well, maybe not pessimistic, but kind of skeptical about the continuation of the growth in the long term. You think that maybe we need to go even lower, maybe lower than the $3,000. Please tell us about that.
Maybe no one else, but I live in the United States. So that's why maybe you will feel this negative way about crypto. To my opinion, I don't like to tell anything about long term. Like, for example, I think in 2020, the Bitcoin will hit the price about $1 million, for example. I don't
Cool.
like it because Bitcoin will hit
I mean,
this.
it will be cool.
It will be cool, maybe, if you're investing that money, but try to hold this money for
Yeah.
5 years, for example. It's hard because you will every time be so stressful to hold this money and to see that big retracement, okay? So I know that United States is all about crypto, so they're influence the cryptocurrency. We can't say that they are not in cryptocurrency, even if it's not legal here. So, to my opinion, I heard yesterday, or it was before yesterday, your opinion about 1,000, like 100,000 or even higher, and it makes sense. Of course, I think you're told about this on your YouTube channel in English, and it makes sense indeed. But I think we have to wait while America will regulate it. So if we see, to my opinion, right now it's not legal to trade cryptocurrency, to hold cryptocurrency, in United States, of course. In order cryptocurrency in order cryptocurrency hit the level about even $1 million, it might be, of course. But first of all, it has to be secured enough. So I have to be sure that my Bitcoin will be mine Bitcoin. The second tips, in order to go uptrend, like high uptrend, you can even imagine, it has to be secure for the first. Like it has to be legal here in United States. But right now, United States trying to pull back a little bit Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, it's something that they couldn't control. That's why they trying to control it, like to trying to pull back Bitcoin and to pull it downtrend. I think we can still even lower like 1,800 for Bitcoin, because it has to be interesting. So it will be so nice to see it, because we will have the second chance to get into Bitcoin and to have a new uptrend. So for me, it's like not interesting to make a prediction of the 50,000, for example, or 1 million per Bitcoin. I think America will try to pull it back to 1,000, maybe.
Okay, let's see who will win in America or China. Maybe Chinese will try to push it higher because you remember
No, wait,
recently.
China. And I ask you about what China says about it, what Asia think about the Bitcoin.
I'm not sure about what they say, but you probably are familiar with the recent devaluation of Chinese yuan, right?
Right.
And if you'll plot it versus Bitcoin chart, then you will see that in the recent price action, there is a very nice correlation. So Chinese are scared about their currency devaluating versus dollar. They try to buy gold and try to buy digital gold, and both gold and Bitcoin is going up potentially and probably partially because of these reasons. And also you can find some updates about the search results for phrases like Bitcoin or buy Bitcoin in Chinese search engines like Baidu, and it's growing comparing to European or like Western ones. So maybe indeed they do buy it, and if you say Americans will try to press it down, then maybe Chinese are trying to push it up, and we'll see who will win.
So this is the thing that making market, demand and supply.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Nothing new.
And I don't know. I would want to know your opinion, but I think in October it will be the deadline for the ETF acceptance, and that will be the last one. We're really actually close. Nobody talk about it right now because it was so many times postponed, and everybody going, again ETF, we don't care. But it will be, and when it will be accepted, it will be huge. So what do you think? Will it be accepted or not?
I think it will be rejected. But oh my God, of course, I don't want anyone like making
Why they
predictions.
didn't reject it before? Why they didn't reject it so far then? There was so much more reason to reject it before.
Because every time we have a good point, we have a good stuff to manipulate the market. Remember where 1 year ago, the ETF was the main topic of all new cryptocurrency news, okay? After that, it was like bugged. Of course, that we have to accept physical futures and stuff like that. Right now, it's Libra, so we're all talking about Libra coin or JP Morgan coin, whatever coin is it, right? So to my opinion, it will be rejected because it's completely the stuff that I'm talking about United States. So the USA, they have to accept it first, and after this, the ETF will be accepted. So it's like a long path of acceptance, or to my opinion, or it will be postponed, or it will be rejected.
Well, the question is why they didn't reject it before? Why they continue to postpone it so many times? If it will be such a situation,
Because it works. It's a good volatility on the market. So within this news, with these news of postpone or rejection of acceptance of anyone, we can make volatility on the market. Because even a big player who has a bunch of money, like has like $5 million, $5 billion, of course they don't know exactly if it like rejected or if it will be accepted. Of course, this is a good point to manipulate the market and to create a big volatility on the market.
it implies that those people who are trying to manipulate the market, they're actually somehow lobbying those decisions which are made by SEC. So you want to say that there's a bureaucracy, not bureaucracy, the how to say that, the corruption in SEC, which there is like a illegal connection between SEC representatives and the whales in the crypto market?
Of course it is.
Oh my God, come
This
on.
is just my opinion. I think only
Okay.
5% in the world who can run the world and they know about everything. They're creating all the news, they're creating cryptocurrency, monetary system. Whatever they created, it is much more important because there is a stuff that's much more important regarding ETF. This is at the end of October. I suppose it's October 31st. We have to have a decision about Brexit. So it's much more interesting that ETF, and maybe this is the point while ETF will be postponed, in order to for the next year. Who tells that we have to make a decision? Who tell you that this is a deadline for that decision? No one tells about it because the Brexit is much more important than the cryptocurrency, no?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, we'll see. We'll see who will be right. My bet is that it will be accepted and probably will be accepted even
And what
before the
next?
deadline.
And what
Hmm?
next? And what
What
next?
what next? In which sense you mean?
I mean,
What's the big
what
thing about crypto?
yes, what's the big thing about crypto? What ETF will give to cryptocurrency market? So it will
Uh,
rise, it will give like uptrend new.
At least it will give some liquidity. And with the fundamental developments, I think it will give a rise because it now, let's say, when we run the futures in the
Mhm.
end of 2017, yeah, the point was we were already too high. And of course, the institutions or those who can trade or like high worth individuals who can trade CME futures, they would probably try to short it because they were seeing that from the traditional classical approach, it is the market which is overheated. We need to push it down. So they just added additional fuel to that. Hmm?
Are you serious about that right now? Because maybe you didn't like follow the mass market or follow the crowd that time,
Okay.
but everyone in 2017 was saying about future acceptance of the futures on cryptocurrency market, and everyone was saying that it will make grow the market. So, and the same stuff that you told me about ETF right now,
No,
people
no, no,
were
no, no. No, listen, listen, listen. Everyone were saying that because they were overexcited, and those will not be so-called smart money. Those people who are saying that were just the people who are probably entering at the hype, and they didn't have experience in investing and trading. They're just like like regular people, retailers, and those people who were actually considering these opportunities, this possibility of market going down, they were saying, yeah, CME is cool for fundamental development. However, we probably will see the decrease in the price. And the reason why huge players are trading on CME to the downtrend, well, pushing the price down, it's absolutely the same as like they are trying to buy in the bottom in let's say December last year. So there is, of course, two agendas from the mainstream and from the very few people who are actually getting profit in the market. So we
okay.
shouldn't
Did
mix
you
this.
short the Bitcoin that time?
Sorry? Oh no, I
Did
didn't.
you short? Why
No, no,
not?
I was because I thought it's risky. Because shorting
You
crypto is
talking right now so professional about market. Because right now people excited again about the market. No
yeah,
one
sure,
tells about
sure.
3,000 for a Bitcoin. Everyone tells no, 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 Bitcoin will never come back to 3,000. You will never see, or we will break the trend or another stuff. We will see next level is 20,000. Right now people are excited again, so
Yeah,
why
the
not?
point is, however, the point is, if we'll considering the cycles of the development and price action of Bitcoin and like fundamentally long-term growth, if you look at the logarithmic scale in 10 years, then at that point in December 2017, there was the part of the end of the growing cycle. Now we're at the beginning of the next growing cycle, not at the end, not before the bear period. So we didn't
How do
even
you,
go up. Sorry?
how do you know about it?
I don't. It's just I think the probability is bigger because again, if you look at the cyclic behavior and like supply and demands and sentiment in the markets, like let's say in 2017, there were only people were only dreaming about institutions. Of course, they were playing as well, but right now with Backed, with Fidelity, with many huge players in the market coming there with fundamental developments in terms of the like let's say infrastructure, it's much bigger, the wallets and everything, it's much healthier right now than at that time. So I think that, well, of course there is a chance that it will go lower, and of course maybe ETF will have a negative like I would say negative factor for the market, but like dumping effect. But it doesn't mean that it's for sure. I think it's more likely to be the opposite, but just again in my
This
opinion.
is really interesting. You are talking about the big player, the institutional money, the smart money, let's call it like that. And you are talking that they are in the market in this year. But on the other hand, you talk about the problem of liquidity of the market. So how can you match these 2 points together? If they're big player, they need to have like big position, big amount of volume, and how they're going to manage that liquidity, like lack of liquidity.
It's very easy. They just don't open that big position because if they will, of course, they will move the market very high. They try to do it carefully as much as possible and just to go little by little with very little stakes. And again, we already talked about it, but there's OTC market and we don't know really the volume there. Maybe it's really, really huge. So we don't really know. And if you look, actually, I had the reference with an old study about this institutions playing in the market. It was like July 2018. There was the study about how Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, they all were investing in crypto with like hundreds of million dollars. So it's an evidence already.
This is really strange because how could they invest it in the cryptocurrency market if cryptocurrency is still prohibited on our market from JP Morgan,
From
Hmm?
what how once again? So
Okay,
how
how could they invest it in the market if the cryptocurrency market is still prohibited for the United States?
Oh, no, not really. They can go with other jurisdictions. In Europe, for example, there are funds which are operating in Europe. There is also not for what it is. The let me see. Grayscale Capital. It's
Mhm.
operating in the United States. You can invest in the fund which contains Bitcoin. You can invest even in altcoins. And right now, it's even more like LedgerX and everything. So there are plenty of the legal opportunities to invest, even if you're an institution. It's absolutely for sure. It's another thing that you may not get the liquidity that you want, but that's what you have.
But this is just the point of the time. With the time, we will see this liquidity, and I think the cryptocurrency market is that young again. It's so young, so we will see so many stuff on it like in the 10 years, and I think it's not a professional to talk about the uptrend. So it can be only an uptrend. We have
Sure,
to see
sure.
the uptrend and we have to see the downtrend again. And after that, this cycle will change again and we'll start over. So this is so young market. And I think that the Bitcoin will be like a little bit, maybe like a gold, it will be much more hatch than a trade market.
It
We
is.
will.
It is right now. Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
anyway, time will tell. Time will tell. Well, I think that yeah. Yeah. I think that we are like 30 minutes already, so I don't want to make it that long. Again, guys, if you are interested in this kind of content, then maybe you would find the new videos, which will be in English, I hope, in the channel from Ekaterina Kostevich. So go ahead and check it out. I'll leave the links if she will make this channel in the description down below. So far, thank you very much for watching. Do you have anything to tell us in the end?
Nice having me. So just don't forget about stop losses. There are
Oh,
so many
that's
different advices, guys. So many, stuff you're hearing every day about cryptocurrency because we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have whatever stuff we have YouTube blogger that's creating like cryptocurrency news and cryptocurrency stuff. Just don't forget about your stop losses. This is really important because you have to have money tomorrow in order to be in that market. Imagine if you will spend all the money today, if you will lose all the money today, what you're going to do tomorrow. Just keep it a little bit for tomorrow. Don't forget about it.
so see, this is an advice from the real trader, guys. So please follow that. All right, that was awesome. That was very interesting. I hope that people will learn something from that. So, guys, thank you very much for watching and hope to see you in the next video. Safe trading. Goodbye.
Thank you
Goodbye,
so,
Katerina.
thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.